Everybody, this is Kim from Earn Greater Profits, and today I want to step through creating a website. This video is going to be a multi-video series, and this first video is we're just going to talk about global headers and footers. Because when you're creating a website, the first thing you want to do is create your global header and footer, so that way you don't have to recreate it in every page that you do. So when you're in the back office, just scroll down to Sites, and you can create a funnel or a website. I'm going to create a website because global headers and footers are really important for multi-page websites rather than a funnel. So let's get started. We're just going to create test website, and we're going to create it from scratch. If you choose one of the templates, then they'll have headers already created. But I know there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there who would prefer to create your own website and learn how to do it yourself. And so let's just open this up, and we'll click Add a New Page. We're just going to create our home first. And we're going to create from blank. Now, if you use existing, then you can choose, if you've got another website and you want to copy the header or copy a page, you can do that from the other things that you have already. We're just going to create from blank. The platform has gotten some upgrades in the last little while, and so we have some really nice features in the software. All right, so here's our new layout page for creating a website, and there's several things up here, and I'll just go through them as we need it. So we're just going to add an element. You'll see that we've got a global section here, but there's nothing in there yet. So that's what we're going to create. Also, store. Looks like you can add a store now, and they just come out with that this week, and we'll do another video on that and see what the features are. So, okay, getting back to, we want to create a section, a full width section. It's just going to go right along the top. We're going to add a row, and I'm going to add a 2-column row because I want to do a couple of fun things in there. Oh, it did not take, so there we go. You'll notice this little purple circle. You can move and change the sizes of each row at will. So that's a really nice feature. And now I'm going to add an element. Here are all of our elements. So headlines, subtext, text, bullets, buttons, forms. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to add a navigational menu. And you can put your image in there, and so that's what I'm going to do. So it's highlighted in orange. Just scroll down to the bottom here, and I'm going to grab my business logo, and it's not an exact square, it's a rectangle, so I'm going to just leave the width blank. And then I'm just going to adjust my height to 75. In fact, I'm going to adjust it to 50 because it's kind of large. All right, and then you also have your choice of putting a business name. If your logo is not your business name, then you can add that here. Or if your logo includes your business name and you don't need this, you can put your motto serving Northern Utah, or whatever you want, you can put that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it blank for now. Or you can also click Advanced, scroll down to the bottom, and it says Headline and Menu. You can actually toggle that off so that it doesn't take up any space. If you toggle it on and don't put anything, then it's going to be kind of some blank space right there. So I'm just going to turn it off. But that's where you can add a headline or a motto. You can reverse the situation here. I'm going to use the default because that's kind of the norm. And so now I'm just going to go back to General. And with my navigational menu still highlighted orange, I can make changes to anything I want here. Here are my menu items that just come up as a default. And so I've got Home, About, Team is under About, and Contact. And I'm not going to adjust them, but I am going to edit just so that you can see what's here. And so here's my title, About, that's what shows up. I'm going to go to a website URL or a page. Now, if I have additional pages and I go to this, then the additional pages will show up, and then you can click the About Us page. And so we're not going to be able to do that right now because we haven't created that About Us page yet. And so if you go to website URL, then you can use hashtags to drop into other sections on the page. So if you've only got a one-page funnel or a one-page website, let me show you where you grab that URL. Before I leave here, you can also toggle off Open Up in a New Tab. So on our regular multi-page website, we don't want to open a new tab every time somebody clicks on a page on the header, so we'll want to turn that off. But if you want to just, if your contact form is at the bottom of the page and you don't have a specific contact page, then you can edit this contact, and under Advanced, you can see that we have a navigation menu blurb here. Let's just copy that. And then let's go back to our contact edit, and we're going to throw that in right there. Okay. This is just, this actual hashtag element is for the one we're creating because we've only got one section so far. But if I had a contact section at the bottom of the page with a form, I would highlight that section, go to Advanced, and then copy the URL for that section. And I'll show that in another video once we get some actual content on this page. All right, so now that we have those set up here, I'm going to add a call to action button. And so I'll just pull button in as the element. You can choose a theme, or you can create it from scratch. The themes are not necessarily color-coded, but they have, like, I really like this red one, not because it's red, but because it has, it's got a shadow behind it. And so let's just choose that one. And then we'll go to the background under General. We'll go to the background color and just choose the background color as whatever our particular colors are. Now I have colors because this is my demo account and I've used it before. But if you don't have your colors set up yet, then you'll want to, let's just go to, we're going to settings. So if you scroll down to the bottom in settings, and then scroll down to custom values. The custom values are really great. And I've put all the colors in the custom values. And so that's how I've created all my custom values. So if I want my button color to be, let's just say it's going to be hashtag 3F2669, because that's my business color. So it's going to end up being purple. We'll update that. Okay, so now I have a value in here where it says button color. So I'm going to copy and paste the code, and I'm going to add a custom one. So you can click on this and add whatever custom color you want using your hex or RGB information. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste my button color value in there, and I'm going to name it purple because that's the color it is, and I'm going to add this color. So I've got that now. It's not recognizing it because I'm going to have to exit out of the the template page in order for it to recognize that I just created a new value. And so for now, I'm just going to leave it pink. But that is how you create new value colors and have them added. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to hit save here just so that we don't lose any of our work. Now what I want to do is I want to adjust the sizing on this just a little bit and put a background color. So I'm just going to click, and you'll notice it's green now. So green means it's a section color, and then blue means it's a column, and then purple is the columns itself. So I have a 2-column row, blue is a row, and it's telling me I have 2 columns in that row. And then the purple are the different columns. So I have first column and I have second column, and then drill down to the elements, and the elements are orange. So here I have a button, and this element is a navigational menu. Now you can always change what it calls each thing. So I'm going to name this section header navigation there. So now you always know it's header navigation. In fact, and then we'll let's just click on this. Instead of saying second column, we're going to do call to action button here. All right. And then navigation, it already calls it navigation menu, so that's great there. Okay, so let's go back out to our green section, and we're going to come over here, make sure we're clicked properly, and sometimes this gives us a little trouble because it doesn't know exactly what it which section it wants us on. I'm going to hit the Save Section button here, and I'm going to name it Header Navigation, and I'm going to add it to Global Sections. Now you can also add templates. So if you're creating a section that you use in other pages, then you can save it as a template, and then you don't have to recreate it on each page. But then you can use it and edit it however you like. Now, if you're saving it as a global section, every time you use it on a page, then it's going to be the same for every page. That means if you edit it in one page, it's going to update it in all the other pages. So that's what the global section is versus a regular template. So if you save something just as a template, when you pull it into another page, you can edit it and it won't change what's going on to that template on another page. But for our navigational headers and footers, we definitely want them to be global sections, so we don't have to edit every single page. We want to keep it consistent throughout the website. And also you'll notice it's not green anymore. Global sections are purple. So I want to edit the global section now, and I'm going to change the background color to, let's just change it to be this purple. And you'll notice that the background color for our navigation menu is white. So let's click on that and change the background to be transparent so that the navigational menu is not a different color than our header. So now what I'm going to do is going to change some of these settings. I don't want my header so tall. I've got a bunch of extra space that just shows up automatically. So I've clicked on my header navigation section, so the purple section, and you'll notice that I've got some padding on the top and the bottom. I'm going to delete that padding and just narrow it up a little bit. You can also narrow up the padding on the rows, on the sections. There's padding here as well. You could delete that if you like and have it even narrower, but we're just going to leave this as is. So now we're going to save this again, and then it's going to show up. Oh, it didn't show up because we don't have any other pages with this global setting. So changing the margin on that just so that we can see our header navigation. So when we create another page and it has this global header on another page, when we edit the global template and we hit save, it's going to say, hey, this is going to change on other pages too. Is that okay? And you just hit yes. And so it always reminds you that you have other pages that use the same template and that it's going to update all of those pages where that template occurs. So let's see if there's just any other information that I might want to mention here. If you want your shadow, your header to have a shadow, then you can add a shadow there. You can add an inner shadow as well, and that's kind of cool looking. Let's go ahead and leave it. Also, if you want your header to be sticky on the top when it scrolls, you can stick it. And so when you're scrolling your website down, it's going to scroll with it. And so that's always fun. And if you have a background image you want behind there, you can add your media from whatever you've got in here. You can also, this is a new feature, you can add a video background if you want. Of course, in our header, we're not going to do that, but this last thing here, allow rows to take an entire width, you can do that as well. And so if somebody's got a screen that's wider than what you've set yours up as, or what's the default in this creation mode, then it's going to allow it to go beyond and just take up the entire width. And that's good for some things. I'm not going to set that here though. Under advanced, you can create borders for any sections, any elements. If you create a full border, you can do solid. Let's make it real thick just so you can see what it's doing. And then you can change the colors to whatever you like. We don't need a border, but that, oh, I do want to show you one other thing. You can have a full border, you can have a bottom border as well. So if you've got, that's kind of fun to do, is just to add a little border at the bottom. But once you've created or said, yes, I want a border, then this shows up and it asks you if you want a border radius. So if this happens to be an image, then you can make it rounded, make the corners rounded. This border radius only shows up if you've got a border. Now, if you want to change the radius amount without having a border, you can do that. So just say full border and say 1 pixel and make it the exact same color as whatever your background is. And you'll see that you can't see a border, but then you can change the radius of whatever it is you're working on, and so you can make your border radius, and you can do bottom edges only or top edges only. So if we did say that, then our top would be kind of rounded. There's some fun things you can do. We're just going to leave that. Down here you can do full width. Let's just change it to small and see what that does. So you can change that width when you're adding a new section. Let's just add a new section again, and this is the same. So you can always change the width that you want to use right here under advanced. So same stuff right there. You also have the ability to change the visibility. So if you only want something to show on your desktop and not your mobile, just click that to uncheck it, because sometimes you'll have something where it doesn't look good on mobile and you'll need to use a different section to show on mobile, and so you can use these to show or not show on certain aspects. All right, you can, if you know CSS, you can enter certain class names and create your own custom CSS there. Let's go ahead and hit save. All right, so now let's create our going to do a 2-column. We're going to create our footer now. So we're going to do the same navigational footer right here. In fact, let's delete this and let's just copy. So you'll see I just hit copy. I've got 2 of the same here. I'm just going to drag this over here and we're going to put it right there. So we've just copied the same thing. Now on the bottom footer nav, usually we don't have as many links, or you can have as many links as you want. I'm just going to delete some of these. On the bottom, I like to put terms of service, terms and conditions, and then the contact. So if you want minimal, those are pretty minimal. And then let's use our little circle here to drag it over. And then what I'm going to do is add some social elements. Here's my social icon, little blurby thing. And it's not in the right format, but in order to make it to the right format, we're going to click on our purple, which is our column setting, and the column setting is the only one that does this. We're going to scroll down to our column layout, and we're going to change it to horizontal. Then we're going to change it to left and start. Oh, it didn't. I was changing the other end. Make sure you're still highlighted with the one that you want. And it is not giving me what I want. So I'm going to show you how to do it for, that's interesting. It should get you where you want to go here. I've never used this social blurb. In fact, it's brand spanking new. But you should be able to change it to the horizontal alignment. And I guess it doesn't do that. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to show you how to add the elements individually. And I'm going to do it with an SVG image. Okay, I'm going to change it to 40 pixels, so it's just little. And then I'm going to open my image URL. I don't have my social media icons set up, but let's go ahead and drag some in. And I'm going to grab my social media icons. And I'm just going to pull them in. And so let's just pull up Facebook. So here's my Facebook icon. And change the action. So I'm going to go to a website URL. And I want it to go to a new tag. I don't want them to leave my website just because they want to check out my Facebook page. https earngreaterprofits.com. All right, let's hit save real quick so we're not going to lose anything. Now what I want to do is I just want to copy that. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to open up my tab here again, and let's do our Instagram. So, oh, sorry, this wasn't my my Facebook. I didn't put my Facebook website URL there, but you get the idea. So you just put your Instagram URL right there, so on and so forth. And because I had already claimed my column as being horizontal, you'll notice that they look right. So here, vertical. That's the default, but when you want to put things side by side like this, these little images, you just change it to horizontal. And so let's just hit copy, 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 and you can have as many as you want for each of the social media icons you want to use. If you're a service-based business, then you're probably on Yelp, and so you'll want to add your Yelp link. And then also you'll probably want to add an envelope for your email. And if you want, you can choose open up a pop-up and put a form in there. And so when they click this, it opens up the pop-up. Or you can just do email. Well, I'm not going to do it now. If you want to go directly to email, you can have them open up an Outlook, or you can just go to the website URL where your contact page is. And you can move these around, exactly, move them up or down. So that's probably easier than dragging it. So you've got email. These are SVG, so if you can get a hold of SVG, you can change the color to whatever you want. So this envelope is black, and it doesn't look like anything that we've got on our page, so let's just change it to purple. There you go. Fun stuff. So this is our footer. Let's go ahead and change our background color of our footer to, let's just go with the pink and just kind of keep our color theme going. And we don't need a shadow this time, and we don't want it sticky. We don't want it following us around. I do want to delete the padding on the bottom again for this, just so that it's not so tall. And let's hit save real quick. All right, now let's name this section footer navigation. And you'll notice it's still green. So let's go over here, hit save. footer navigation and add it as a global section. Okay, there's our footer. So in the next video, we'll start adding some content. Thanks so much for watching.